In this video, I'm going to be explaining how I became a self-published author on Amazon at the age of 19. So quickly, I do want to say my book, was also an Amazon bestseller at one point when it launched because I had a lot of hype built up around it. Now I don't even think it like ranks anywhere. But again, it did hit that. So again, I do want to say this isn't just like a crappy like book that I just put out. Again, the reviews have been amazing, and I've given out multiple copies of my book. So again, there is a bit of credibility there. And okay, I also do want to say this isn't in any way me like flexing and trying to say, oh, I'm an author, I'm self-published, da 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 da. Like again, I really don't think it's something crazy, but a lot of people have been asking me, Radies, how did you go about it? What was the process? So I thought I'd take some minutes out of my day and just quickly film this video for you guys. So one thing I do want to say is, the way I published this book was through Amazon KDP. Pretty much Amazon has a self-publishing platform where, they make it very easy and very streamlined to the point where you can literally just upload a PDF transcript and they will literally turn it into a book. They'll publish it themselves and you just have to make like a cover. And again, it's very, very simple, very easy. I think the whole process took me around, I would say like a few months from, writing and everything like that. And again, it's pretty cool because, you don't really have to worry about a lot of the things that you would if you were, actually publishing a book. Like all I did was, just upload things onto Amazon, and then anytime someone buys a book, Amazon actually publishes it, they ship it, everything like that. So it's pretty interesting. Again, the process when you do it with Amazon KDP is actually fairly easy. And I also do want to talk about what is like everyone's perception, after you write a book. So one thing I kind of noticed is, a lot of people kind of look at you different after you've written a book. And again, like this is kind of like interesting to see, but I find that, since I have a book, a lot of people are like, they're so amazed by the fact that like, whoa, like you have a book, like that's amazing. Even whether it's like friends or even if it's like business partners or just people who just follow me on social media, they always, kind of say like, whoa, like dude, you have a book, like that's amazing. Like I feel like having a book kind of gives you like a level of authority, which is again very interesting because I always say like, hey, I don't think it's anything crazy. Like anyone can write a book if they want to. It's just a matter of actually doing it, right? And again, like it is pretty interesting to note that, people will literally just put you on a pedestal because you've written a book. So again, like it's like a very interesting thing to see how people look at you. Another thing, I want to talk about is like, is it worth writing a book? And I want to quickly touch about like, how I went about writing my book and why I even did it. The story is kind of funny, but I'll quickly share it. So what happened was in 2019, around like November, December, I knew that, hey, things are just going to be kind of slow. It's like holiday season. And I knew that I wasn't going to be, I knew I was going to have extra time pretty much. And so I decided, hey, you know what? Why don't I just write like an ebook, right? Because again, ebook, it's something easy. I just put it on like Microsoft Word and then boom, I can just, have people download it, whatever. It'd be kind of cool to do. And then, eventually I met up with someone who, does Amazon like publishing. I have a video with him as well that's on my channel. But pretty much that person explained how, I could write a book and actually have it be like a physical copy, like, a physical book that Amazon will just do for me. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, why don't I do that? And, pretty much I decided to just write. And again, for me, it was very easy to write. The content in the book is like stuff that I just kind of always, talk about or preach anyways. So it was very quick for me to write. And then I wrote it in about like a month and a half. And then after that, I came up with like the name, Seeking Success. The cover I made all by myself. Even the back, everything like was made all by myself. I did pretty much everything by myself. And one thing to note as well is like, it really shows that like, I really didn't put the craziest amount of effort into like polishing the product, because like there's literally like spelling mistakes, there's grammar errors in here. And again, like I'm not an author, right? Like I'm literally just me. Like I'm not like someone who has like an English degree or anything like that. And again, if you are thinking of writing a book, remember, you don't need to have any sort of degree or any sort of like qualifications or certificate. You can just go write a book, right? It's very cool. And again, like another thing is, it just kind of dawned upon me like, hey, like, if I have a book, it will be pretty cool because, I'll be able to say like, hey, I have a book. And I knew, I would probably be able to hit, Amazon bestseller even for like a brief period of time. And I can kind of like use that and kind of run with it and kind of say, hey, like technically I am an Amazon bestselling author, or at least I was at one point. And I feel like that's kind of interesting. And that's kind of where people will be like, oh my God, like again, the credibility will go up. Okay. In terms of, is it worth it? Like, From a money perspective, like a financial perspective, like no, I don't even know how much money I've made with the book. But again, I promise you, it is not really that profitable. One thing to note is obviously Amazon does take a hefty fee of whatever your book is. I want to say again, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think I have. I don't even know how much this book costs. Is it show on here? I don't even think so, but I want to say this book is like $14.99 on Amazon. Again, another thing to note is I'm pretty sure out of $14.99, I think I only take away like $3 or $4 or maybe even lower than that. So again, like if you really do the numbers on it, it's not really that profitable. Like if I really wanted to make like a lot of money with like a low ticket digital product, I would just make like a master class that's like, I don't know, like $15 and people can just sign up for that. But again, like it just comes down to the whole aspect of, hey, it's not really about the money when it comes to a book. It's more about like the credibility, the authority that you have, and people's perceived like vision of you, right? Like people are like, oh my god, you're an author. Like it's cool. And again, like it is pretty interesting, that even I'm able to say like, oh yeah, at the age of 19, I actually published a book, because I never in my life really thought I would ever be like an author. Or I'd ever like have like a book. One thing I always kind of look at is because like I look at like my bookshelf and all these books over here, and like I look at all these authors, I'm like, wow, like these guys are such amazing people. We have people like Gary Vee, Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson, a bunch of authors that are just sitting up on my shelf. And then when I have my book beside it, it's like, wow, like it really just puts things into perspective. Like, hey, anyone can write a book. This is such an interesting thing. Again, I don't want to ramble on too much, but that's pretty much, how I wrote my book and how I self-published at the age of 19. Will I ever write another book? Maybe I can see myself writing a book later in the future. But the next time I do write a book, though, I definitely want that book to be like, properly like polished, proofread, edited. And it will definitely be done in a different way. Another thing I do want to say is, my book is called Seeking Success. It's on Amazon. You can go grab it down below. Another thing I do is I have a course called Seeking Success, and this pretty much will teach you how to be successful doing the things you love. It goes deep into mindset, productivity, a bunch of amazing stuff, and a bunch of tools that I really feel like people need. And it's something that I wish I had back when I started my journey. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And until next time, remember, stay seeking success.